This week on the Wonky Times podcast, a blood-soaked casket discovered in Kenya, a phantom knocker is terrorizing folks in New Zealand, and a medium who once rescued an unborn baby from the spirit world. Wonky Times begins now.
Meanwhile, let me pass on the good word about the new
Wonky Times.
Hey, welcome to the show. It's your boy, Matt.
And your RoboBoy, RoboBrian.
All right, disclaimer on this week's show. It's kind of spooky. Can you handle it? What are you, scared?
Don't taunt our audience. It's the only one we have, actually.
Hey, RoboBecca, how's it going over there?
I'm doing great. I'm just hanging out, keeping it real, my home dogs.
Wow, Becca's cool. Brian, take notes. Just kidding. And as a reminder, Becca is now part of the program. She was hired by our new owner, Ellington Cashford of Cashford Media.
Yeah, we sold out.
Not really, but kind of. I don't know. But Becca is our new Cashford Media, quote, verification and emotional enhancement unit.
Fancy title.
Let's get to it. Yeah, home dogs. Residents of a village in Kenya are unsettled after someone discovered a literal casket sitting near a local official's home.
What was inside?
Well, it was a blood-soaked note listing prominent local figures, with crosses marked next to their names.
No way.
You know, which is not how you want to find out you're trending, right?
That is a very aggressive way to send a newsletter.
I mean, yeah, and authorities say the community is on edge, obviously. This is a region where belief in black magic is fairly widespread, is what they say. One official who was on that list offered what might be the calmest response for someone who just got cursed.
Since the discovery of the casket and note, there has been fear, and everyone is just trying to make sense of what happened, they said. Superstitions are rife. Many are linking this to witchcraft.
Or it was just a dude with really cool movie props.
I don't know. Here's where it gets really wild. So before authorities could properly investigate, local clerics burned the casket and its contents. So now there are no fingerprints, no evidence, no clues.
They solved the case by deleting the case.
Exactly. This is like if CSI showed up and someone said, hey, good news, we already set it on fire. But anyways, the official on that list says he's not deterred and understands it comes with being in the public eye.
Now let's head over to New Zealand, where something was knocking and nobody was there.
Oh, I remember Ding Dong Ditch. Police, they're upset because they're getting multiple calls. Actually, they got multiple calls one night about what's being called a phantom knocker.
Better than a fart knocker, right? Right?
It all started at a motel where a woman heard knocking, obviously, at her ground floor window. When she looked outside, she saw someone crouching low to the ground. She screamed.
Of course.
The figure ran.
Of course.
And then 10 minutes later, another homeowner reports hearing knocking inside their house. This is on the inside. They investigate and they see shadowy figures running from their open back door. Sounds like a movie.
No way.
And again, police look around, they see nothing. They find nothing.
Well, this is a strange story.
And it's not even over yet. Then, at a vape shop, one of the employees hears a knock, followed by a loud bang. And once again, nobody there.
I blame ghosts or bored teenagers.
Yeah, I think authorities are suspecting the latter, but here's what I love. It's called a phantom knocker. I know I've said that a few times already, but it sounds like a Scooby-Doo villain or a band name. I don't know.
Or a low-budget comic book character.
Now, is it paranormal?
No way.
I'm going to say heck yeah. You know what they say? Don't knock it till you try it. And speaking of the paranormal, I had the opportunity to sit down with D. Paul. What a cool name, right? He's the author of the book Mysteries at the Wyndham Inn, The Feral Feline.
He's also a medium, paranormal investigator, and a very cool dude.
Yeah, he's so cool that he can tap directly into the spirit world.
No way.
Here's a clip of him sharing a story about a time he helped save someone's unborn baby.
From phantom knockers to spirit obstetrics.
Check it out.
Matthew, look at it like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like going out in public for a number of reasons, but the main one is whenever I'm around people, the voices just get loud. And the spirit world wants me to pass along messages, and 9 times out of 10, a normal person would say the messages are inappropriate.
Do you ever wish there was a way you could kind of like turn it off and on?
Yeah, so I kind of wish that my whole life, but that's just not how it works.
Yeah.
It's just not how it works. You gotta the messages, the visions, all of it. They come and go as they see fit. You can tap into things. Let me give you another example, and this goes along with one of the next fundamental step, if you will, for someone like me, especially as a Native American holy man, who the healing side of having gifts is incredibly rewarding and incredibly dangerous. Well, why is it dangerous? Because people think I can heal them. Well, that's just not the case. I'm simply a conduit, a hollow bone, someone that has the gift to be able to connect with the spirit world and move them or their light through me to you, or vice versa. Okay, so I'm a conduit, nothing more. Right? If somebody came up and said, "You got to heal me, I'm going to give you $1 billion," I'm going to say, "Look, I'm not even going to try to fake it, because it's not my call. It's not how the game works." Well, same thing with visions and everything else. And for me, when people talk to me, the really important stuff pops up in these bubbles. So I'll give you an example. 5 years ago, maybe, this guy was working for my wife, and he was a Navy vet, and he had come up to me and he said, "Listen, I've got to take tomorrow off, and I don't want to disrespect your wife, so I was coming to you to kind of let you know. Do I tell her what's going on?" And as he's telling me this, I can see something popping up. So I'm like, "All right, well, this is fairly significant." I said, "What do you got going on?" And he says, "Well, my wife's 6 months pregnant, 5 months pregnant, whatever it was. And we had an ultrasound. And as he's saying this, I can see the ultrasound and I can see the baby. And the baby was just, it looked like roadkill, to be blunt. The insides were outside of it. And I mean, it was disgusting to see. It still is. Okay. So they had to have an abortion to terminate and pull out. And so as he's saying this, I can hear the spirit world drawing at me. And I'm like, all right, so I get these flashes of what I'm supposed to do. So I leave, go home, sit at my throne, so to speak, meditate, charge up a malachite rock, bring it back to him and say, "Okay, listen, I don't know what you or your wife believe in, and it's unimportant to me, whether baby Jesus or Buddha or nothing or whatever it is. Whatever it is you talk to, give this stone to your wife. Tell her to talk to the spirit world or whatever you believe in, and tell them what you want." Okay? Starts asking questions, says, "Look, that's it. That's all I can tell you. That's all I know." Next day, he's supposed to go for the termination, right? Mm-hmm. Halfway, 3/4 of the way through the door, this guy comes racing into the parking lot. My wife and I just happen to be standing outside. Comes tearing in, jumps out of his truck, running over to me. "What the was in that stone?" Okay.
You said it was a malachite stone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, malachite, right? It's a healing stone. You know the name, so you know something about it there. Anyway,
little bit, yeah.
He was pretty worked up. Tears are flowing, and he says, "What the did you do?" Mm-hmm. Right? He says, "We got there. They did an ultrasound before, and everything was fine." Okay. Wow. The nurse that was doing it called in a doctor who called in another doctor. They're staring at the day before and so on. And he wanted to know how I did it. And again, I don't, this is the part of this I really don't want anything to do with, right? Because now there's eyes on me, and it's eyes I don't want. Because again, I'm just a conduit. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, baby was healthy, and they got it. So the message behind that story is the power of prayer. You have no idea what you can do when you ask or connect with the right spirit.
And that's the end of this week's show.
thanks for getting wonky with us.
So yeah, like always, let us know if you see anything weird out there. If you do, email us at getwonky@wonkytimes.com.
Or send us a message on Instagram at wonkytimes.
Or call us at 615-669-8240 and leave us a voicemail. We're not going to answer it, but there's a very good chance that we'll play your message on the show, so pretty cool.
Give us a ring-a-ling.
Adios! I like to do it on the couch.
I like to do it with my husband.
Heck, sometimes I do it when no one's looking. Anywhere works for me. Introducing the Wonky Times Hotline. It's so much fun. You can do it anywhere.
No way.
Yes, anywhere. Your couch, your car, your backyard. Call us, leave a voicemail, and maybe you'll hear your message on the next podcast episode. Dial 615-669-8240. Strange stories, spooky tales, and all things wonky just waiting for your voice. Again, that's 615-669-8240. Don't wait, get wonky today.